My name is Monica, and I am the Talent Acquisition Marketing Specialist at Enterprise. And I am joined today by the lovely Iman. Iman, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Iman. I've recently joined the Enterprise and yeah.
Great, thank you for joining me. Today's information session, company information session, is really about learning about the company and about the roles, the exciting opportunities you have available to you all. We would have met you at career fairs, maybe some talks, maybe individual one-to-ones. I'm not sure where you would have connected with someone from the recruitment team. But we're so glad that you joined us today because, as we promised, we'd love to invite you to hear about a little bit more about the role, a little bit more about what the career at Enterprise Mobility will look like. And of course, Iman is joined me today because she has recently joined. Iman, when did you join us?
I joined on June the 3rd, so a little over a month now.
Great. Well, great to have you. I'm so excited
Thank you.
to hear a little bit more about how your first couple of weeks in the branches and in the business has been. So, we'll go ahead and get started. Please, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A. The Q&A is there for us to go back and check throughout the session. We're going to have some time at the end to answer questions, but if you have a question you want to ask me or if you want to ask Iman, please put it in the Q&A and we're going to cover those questions. Anything from the role, the job, maybe some uncertainties, go ahead and put it in the chat and we're going to do our best to answer them because what we want out of this session today is for you to feel really confident and comfortable about applying. If you're not sure, if you weren't quite fully aware of what the roles were, we're going to share them with you. And we're also going to share, like I said, more about the skills that you're going to learn as well. So go ahead and use the chat. So moving on into the information session, company information session. The first thing we want to share with you is information about our company, who is Enterprise Mobility and what we are all about. So Enterprise Mobility is a family-owned company. You can see here from the numbers, we're extremely successful. We have a global network. We generated over $35 billion in revenue. We have over 90,000 team members across the globe in 90 plus different countries. So this is exciting for someone like myself, or if you kind of see yourself as maybe working locally and then nationally or internationally one day. This is great that the company has locations globally. So you can move your career from one location, local location, to a national location, international location one day, if that's what you choose to do. We have over 9,500 rental branches, and we have a very, very secure investment grade. We are America's seventh largest privately held company. As I mentioned, we are a privately held company. According to Forbes, we're listed as the seventh, and our fleet size is enormous. We have 2.3 million vehicles on our fleet, different types of vehicles with 300 different makes and models. So all of different vehicle types available for our customers. But what is Enterprise? So Enterprise Mobility is our brand. We relaunched the name Enterprise Mobility back in November because it really we felt this name really represents who we are. You can see here we have 11 different departments or companies that work within the Enterprise Mobility brand. And the biggest one you'll probably see, so the graduate management trainee role that most of you are considering is through the Enterprise rent-a-car. So that's where Iman worked. That's where I started my career. And what's exciting about this is you can move your role from one department, one company to the other just by looking at those career job opportunities that come up and applying for those. And you can be if you're successful, then you can join those different companies. So if there was a role today that opened up an Integral, then I could, if I feel that that role suited my skills, I can apply for it and then join the Integral team. So This is really exciting. They're all very different. So we have the rental locations, 400 plus locations across the UK from the Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And then we have our airport locations that where you can rent pickup vehicles from any airport locations across the UK and into Europe. We also have our exotic car collection, which is our supercars. So anyone who is a petrol head and knows about cars and has dreamt of maybe working in an industry where you'll be, working with these vehicles. These are for our VIP customers, where traditionally, or previously, shall I say, we were hiring vehicles from external companies to help them replace the vehicles for our VIP customers, but now what the company does invested in a fleet of our own. So this is a department that is managed from our London Heathrow location, and those look after our VIP customers. And we have our car share, our flexi rent, truck rental, car sales, and the hourly car club scheme, and more to come. So we are growing. We are not just what maybe one of the misconceptions could be was just car rental. We're more than that. We've invested in different types of mobility as well as technology. Iman, is there anything that you'd like to share when you were considering applying to work at Enterprise Mobility that surprised you, that or maybe did you have a misconception when you joined about the company that was
Yeah.
different when you started?
Yeah, so I actually had a few misconceptions. One of them being that I'd have to know a lot about cars in order to be successful in my job. It's not the case. I mean, there's the basic knowledge that we obviously all need to know. But with my team here, I feel like everyone's so supportive and helpful that everywhere I've gone wrong, they've helped me anyway. But yeah, there is the basic knowledge that you need to know. But other than that, it's not as detailed as I assumed it would be.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
you're
especially as a female coming into working with cars, I didn't know much.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of mine as well. I did a
Yeah,
lot of prep work when I remember going for my interview, and I did a lot of prep work in the car industry. I tried to research the
yeah,
top five dealerships, the top who our competitors were, the top competitions were for
yeah,
enterprise at the time. And I over researched the industry, and none of that I didn't have a single
came
question
up.
come up, and we still don't ask a single question pertaining to the industry. We want to know why you want to work. Obviously, if you have that research and you know a little bit about it, then that's great. We want to hear about it, but it doesn't determine whether or not you're going to be successful in the interview process. So yeah, I think we both share
Exactly.
that. That's thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no worries.
So our values is really are really important to Enterprise. Enterprise is rich in culture, particularly around people, and you can see these are our founding values that the the family ownership have created, and it's stuck with us, and it's something that we live and breathe by throughout our roles. I'm work just because I work in HR doesn't mean that maybe one of my team members in the remarketing team don't follow these values. Everybody follows these because this really does shape us, who we are. I'm not going to read them all out to you, but you can see that they're very much centered around our people and our customers and our communities. And we really do believe that together by supporting each other, providing our employees with opportunities to grow and move their careers through different locations, and that will then keep, and I'm a testament to this, keep employees with the company so that we don't need to look externally for promotions. They're all available to us within the company because there's so many departments and so many roles. Excitingly, there's also roles that will open tomorrow that don't exist today. So this is what makes employees satisfied in the work. It keeps them challenged because there's new roles, there's new ways to learn and explore new business lines and new opportunities. So this is really exciting that the company is growing and really staying true to the founding values. Something that's really important to a lot of our candidates that come through and apply to our roles today is, what is a company doing to invest in the future? And this is a really big question that's posed in interviews, especially after COVID. and the impact the pandemic had on businesses. And let's face it, our industry was definitely one that was very heavily impacted, but it very much was has become stronger, and because of the investment, both internally to the business, but also externally to our community, and really investing in our future is covered by probably these are the four main pieces of work that we do. Fill Your Tank is about removing or trying to eliminate food poverty in communities. And so these different organizations, we support these different organizations in that field, so we can obviously help reduce poverty. We've got the 50 million tree pledge, which is the plan is to plant 50 million trees by 2050, and we're on track for that. We also have a sustainability mobility, so we do lots of different car I should say mobility options that are more sustainable. So after the pandemic, most majority of owners, families that had maybe two cars, sold one and they just remained with one. So it was through our car share department and company that that really grew, because all of a sudden, if you just needed a vehicle for a couple of hours, that's how people were traveling. And it's much better, of course, and for the environment to do it that way rather than to own a car. And then most latest, the mobility as a service option, and that's where we can integrate the communication between all the different sections of renting a vehicle, from obviously the repair to technology. We could see if there's a vehicle that needs attention, that needs maintenance, that's overdue. Well, one of our customers has it. So there's a lot of investment in our future. It's not just about standing still and not leaning, towards the future and seeing what the requirements are. It's quite exciting. I think also I wanted to share about this is a little bit more about the different types of pieces and of work that enterprise does. Is we invest heavily internally into our employees, and we join lots of different we have different network groups and committees. And Iman, I think you are quite interested in some of the committee members, or the committees that are open and available in your region. What is one of the committees that you're looking to join?
So there was actually two that stuck out to me. There was the Women in Leadership and the Diversity and Minority team.
Yeah,
So
and
so
is
yeah,
there any particular reason why you chose those two?
I mean, Women in Leadership, it's in the name. I'm quite excited. My one of my sisters who previously worked here had a lot of good things to say. So I'm just interested in getting to know more about it and seeing what I can offer for the team. So yeah.
Well, we'd love to hear your views, which is
Yeah,
great.
of
I think
course.
it was always really empowering for me as a new employee to come into the business and observe and see how business was conducted, and through like our customer service side, or
Yeah,
just my own experience, having been through the recruitment process, maybe there's something there
yeah,
that we could take away that could help. So that's just really empowering to know that the company values your thoughts and your ideas, and will consider
exactly.
something that you bring forward to the table. So just as some of these quotes here say everyone has a seat at our table, and that means anyone that comes from maybe a visible disability or hidden. We want everyone to come to work being their true version and authentic version of themselves, because they're going to perform much better and also be more successful in their roles. Um, there's a lovely quote here from one of my colleagues, Romina, who works in the talent acquisition team, who says, "Enterprise has allowed me to really showcase my skills and take my career into my own hands. As a woman, specifically a woman with a physical disability, I've never felt more empowered that I can do that." And that's really, really reassuring to know that our employees feel that this that the differences are not going to hold them back. If anything, we really want them to move forward, and we want to learn from those employees, and want to share with everyone some of the awards that we have been given in recognition of all the work that our employees do through these employee networks and the impact that they make through having these network groups, because it very much benefits the business. So we're not just a company that likes to say we're diverse and we're inclusive, but actually the impact and the value of some of these programs, the value that some of these programs are having in the business is enough to obviously be recognized nationally. So we're really proud of these awards. Now, if you know anything about Enterprise, you know that we're all about promotions and opportunities. And man, you probably saw this or heard about, when you join the Graduate Management Trainee Program, that you're going to be a manager in 2 years and you're going to have 2 or 3 promotions before that. So this statistic is so encouraging that we wanted to share. Last year, more than 20,000 employees across the various departments were promoted or took on new challenges. So in your role today as a graduate management trainee, what is your next promotion?
So I would be looking at completing my MQI and becoming an assistant manager.
So the MQI, for those of you that don't know, is the
Yeah.
management qualification interview. So that's where
Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned.
that's okay. I know we get into our lingo sometimes.
Yeah, so quickly.
Um, so the management qualification interview will test all the training and knowledge that Iman has gone through, that all of our trainees have gone through. So I went through mine many, many years ago, and it's just qualification. So you get a promotion, you get a pay a bonus, you get a bump bonus, and then you're ready to become an assistant manager. And that is as little as a year from when you join. So you can imagine you've only got, what is it, 8.5 months or nine and a half months to go, Iman. So it doesn't feel like
Yeah,
a long
preparation.
time. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
really.
feels it feels as though time's going so quickly, but I'm excited.
What does your training look like today? What sort of before we kind of go through a little bit about what
Yeah.
you do on a day-to-day basis, but what does the training look like for graduate management trainee in your shoes?
So for me personally, a lot of my training has been in branch, just with my managers, alongside my managers. Right now, it's all been pretty practical. And I obviously had my initial training, which was a week on Zoom call with my one of my one of the people training me. So yeah, so I had about a week of that, and then yeah, from then on, majority has been just doing things myself and getting pretty practical. And it's gone so quickly, and now it feels as though I'm actually a part of the team, as though I'm a staple part of the team. So
Yeah.
so
And
yeah, a
you've
lot
been
of
given a little
training.
bit of responsibility as well, Iman. I know
Yeah,
in your short time
exactly.
already. What are some of the areas of responsibility that you have in your branch today?
I mean, from as little as going on runs and dealing with customers independently, for sure, that's a lot of responsibility, collecting cars from customers and having to go through the process with customers independently. It's a lot of responsibility. And also me personally in my branch, I am taking care of the sales board and the SFL sheet, which is just, I mean, just recording customer feedback. But yeah, that's my own
Two
personal
very big,
responsibility.
two very big areas of
Yeah,
responsibility. So
yeah, a month
already
in.
being empowered to put your stamp on, how the sales
Exactly.
performance, which is obviously brings profitability to the branch, the
Yeah,
successful failure log, which is what that SFL log is, to track customer feedback and to improve
yeah,
on the operations for the branch and put maybe new processes in place to
yeah,
improve the overall customer satisfaction. So already been given you the reins to manage that, which is fantastic. And the best ideas
exactly.
have come from our newest employees. So, we do know that it's a lot of responsibility, but we also benefit from you hearing from your ideas and your feedback. And through the training that Iman you mentioned, it's practical training, it's on the job training. So you're going to be learning. I'm going to go through the skills that you're going to be learning in just a second.
Yeah.
But our training and development has been recognized, as a result of the promotions and the success of our model, which is everyone joins as a graduate management trainee or placement and works their way through a training and development program that then qualifies you to become a manager. If you're a placement student, you'd be a management assistant before you go back to university. If you're a graduate management trainee, you'll be promoted to management assistant. So that then prepares you to become an assistant manager. And really honored to receive some of our top awards, lots of different awards, but these are our top three. So the first one is the Times Top 100 Graduate Employers for several years now. So been recognized against other graduate employers. We are one of the largest graduate employers as well. So we have a year-round hiring intake. So because we have a growth model, we are hiring. So if some of you are in locations like a Colchester or a Crawley or Dorking, some of those locations are some of the in the southeast, and we also have lots of locations in the north as well, all over the country really, where we have a big need because of our growth in those areas. But if you wanted to apply in November, let's say you wanted to take some months off to do some travel, especially if some of you that have just graduated, you could do that. And so our training and development has been recognized by some of these organizations. So Target Jobs has voted us as the winner for the Graduate Employer of the Year, which is a huge accolade as a result of all the effort we do on campus working with students, but also, the programs that we have in our business. And then Rate My Placement has awarded us the top employer for placements. So against hundreds and hundreds, and this is voted by placement students. So we're really, really proud of these accomplishments. So a little bit more about the role, and we've shared about the company. We've shared about some of the bit of the training you'll be doing, but what will you be learning as a graduate management trainee? So first thing is you're going to go through business understanding. You're going to learn the business from the ground up. As you've heard, Iman has already been given the responsibility to update our team on the performance of the profitability of sales and also customer service. You're going to learn professional skills because you'll be working with external customers as well as a professional team of colleagues. So you're going to have to understand different different communications types. So professional skills are really, really key, especially as we might have, the mayor of the town come into, for service, or we might have a VIP customer, or you might just have, the local small shop owner around the corner who comes in for his weekly, rental for picking up, the stock for that week. So that's going to be key is, how you communicate. You're going to have lots of relationships internally and externally. So, building on those professional skills, growing those relationships, fostering those relationships with maybe your customers outside of the business. So your body shops, repair centers, or just your customers that come in, as Iman said, she on a daily basis she mentioned the word go on a run. Well, that means that we can pick a customer up from their to collect their vehicle from their home or their office, and that's really great time to spend with them on the journey to the office. So you're going to be also having an immense amount of support in the branch as well, and having as Iman already said, being part of the team. Iman, you mentioned this while we were chatting earlier. Obviously, you already feel like you're part of the team. Well, you are part of the team. Obviously, you've joined us, and you're already got yourself your branch manager, assistant manager. But tell me, like, how did that support system feel? Even like when you were applying, was there anything particularly that you learned and you felt
Yeah.
supported by?
Yeah, well, when I was applying, I just felt as though it was probably one of the smoothest applications I've gone through, just because every step of the way I was being updated, I was kept in the know at all times. So it was just a comforting feeling to know that it is all, happening, and all of the processes. It wasn't like a waiting period where I didn't know what was happening. I was updated throughout and just kept in the loop. Even that sometimes is enough to just make you feel comfortable throughout the process. And yeah, and I felt very supported by everyone I was speaking to. And I was always told that I could, come email anyone that I needed if I needed help. And yeah, just ask any questions throughout.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And how does that support system look like now that you're in a branch, very early days and into your
Well,
graduate management training role?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, my support system has been great here with my managers, especially, and my colleagues. I've really merged into the group well. I just feel very comfortable. I feel as though I'm not pressured. And if I'm making mistakes, obviously, as somebody relatively new, I'm bound to make mistakes and do things in a certain way that probably isn't preferred. But I feel as though my managers are giving me the most amount of support, and I don't feel as though, obviously, working with different cars every day, it's a job with risk. But I don't feel as though I have that pressure. With working with cars, like I said, it is a lot of risk, and that can come with a lot of pressure. I don't feel that pressure because I'm always kept very comfortable and very safe with my managers. It's almost a feeling as though I don't want to let them down because they treat me so well here. So
That's really
yeah,
nice to hear. I feel that when it comes to your role and your responsibilities, because
yeah,
everyone's been through the same training program as you have been in your shoes,
process.
they really do feel the same, I guess remember
Yeah,
what it was like when they were in your shoes, and
yeah,
really share that same feeling
exactly.
when they were in your shoes.
Yeah, like I assumed I'd have a load of imposter syndrome working in my first office job, but I came here and felt so comfortable, and I'm so overwhelmed with how great everything's gone so far.
That's
It's
great to
definitely better
hear.
than I expected.
Oh, that's a lovely feedback. Thank you just for sharing that. And I know the reward and recognition is great as well. Some of the typical bonuses and incentives that we do, you'd have in most graduate schemes as well. You anything that at Enterprise, because we are very competitive, we do track. So we like to track our customer service scores and recognize, the top performers. We'll recognize the top teams for growth or the top teams who have maybe created a new opportunity, a new sales link. So there's lots of reward and recognition opportunities. And then I think that for me, I know when I was a graduate management trainee and moving my career forward, I really felt that that kind of motivated me. As soon as I won one award, I wanted to participate, in a different competition. And some of you probably have already heard of some of the um, incentives, such as, going and having a lunch, or a day out with the company for maybe coming top of the league table, and you get, to do an activity, you get to network with our corporate team, or not our corporate team, our sales team, or maybe you are interacting with the senior management of the group, and that's a great way for you to grow your brand as well. And I really enjoyed that early days in my career. So I think that's something that as a trainee, you really do feel like, the work that you're doing, that the hard work that you're putting in is being recognized when, you get that reward, and you get that recognition back. One of the things that comes up in my interviews is, what is the career path look like? And at Enterprise Mobility, we are really transparent of where your next move will be. Starting with a graduate management trainee or placement, everyone starts at the beginning. This is what your career path will look like. It's not always in the same line. So I joined as a graduate management trainee, as Iman is today. And The next promotion will be a management assistant after you complete your training, and that will prepare you to become an assistant manager and then a branch manager. So the aim is really to become an assistant manager within 1 year and a branch manager within 2 years. And that has huge amount of benefits. A, salary, B, the level of seniority, of level of role that you'll have, but also the responsibility. You get a company car, you get paid commissions on top of your salary, as I already mentioned. And from here, you can go into the different areas of the business if you feel. So if you felt like if you wanted to go into maybe an HR or a sales role, or maybe go into risk management, you can do that, or you can continue onto the management route. So it's really down to you. And it's exciting because these departments that are in that are kind of that branch out are all managed, or the employees that work in those departments are employees that all started as graduate management trainee as well. So everywhere you'll see that there's people that have been in your shoes and are supporting you and know what you go through. So these are all departments that support our rental location. So that was really, really exciting. And you get to see this in your application process. So you get to, you will know right away where your next level of promotion will be, which is exciting. As Iman said, her next promotion would be management assistant and then assistant manager. So those are, she's already looking at her next two promotions, which is exciting. So just want to summarize what skills you're going to get in the role. I'm just sharing the 8 top skills that a graduate management trainee or a placement student will have joining our company. Communications is key. We already talked about the different types of professional skills, and communication, of course, within the working in a professional environment is key. Adapting, really identifying your own skill. That was something for me that was really what I really valued out of the program. Is it helped me understand my communication style, and it helped me understand mine first before I then learned about others and how to adjust my communication style to be more effective, especially as I took on other roles. Customer service is key because it's a customer facing role. So for those of you that have customer service experience, these are the you're all going to continue that. So we would love to hear from people that have got customer service experience already. Time management, you're going to be given priorities and and deadlines. Leadership, due to the fact that you might be owning, as Iman already said, she's already owning 2 areas of the business that she's responsible for. So she'll lead on those updates and the summary of back to her management team on how the business is doing in those areas. You'll gain emotional intelligence, which is hugely important today. You'll also be involved in doing some of the marketing and sales, external, as well as internal as well. So we do all the training. We don't expect you to come and be ready to go on a sales call or to sell a product. We provide you with all the training, the development, and the feedback to help you. Lots of problem solving this is a great role if you like, if you're not looking for a 9 to 5, if you want a role that's really going to challenge you, it's going to allow you to use your critical thinking, your problem solving skills. Because no day is the same. There will be different challenges that you'll be faced with, and it's a collective as a team. You can put forward some great solutions to get through the day, and that's what makes it really rewarding at the end of the day as well. And of course, adaptability, the ability to be ready for anything and to change because plans change. And that's what we look for as well, is that's a really important skill. What would you say, Iman, would be like your one or maybe 2, if you have skill that you've really already started to, specialize in since you joined the business?
Yeah, I would have to say confidence. With the job role, of course, with the responsibility comes a lot of, responsibility. So yeah, I'd say I've definitely grown more confident with the responsibilities I've been given, purely because it's all in my hands to take care of them. So if, for example, with my SFL sheet, it's my responsibility. I have to have the confidence to go to my other staff members and ensure that everyone's filled in the right information, and just speaking with customers has definitely improved my confidence. And one of our responsibilities is to sell. So um yeah, it's definitely improved my confidence and just my ability to navigate the job in a confident manner that's also kept in check. So yeah,
That's
I'd say my
great.
confidence for sure.
Yeah, and I can see that in a lot of candidates that have go ahead and apply and are successful in our programs is, you know, their confidence. And I met somebody just last night. We were invited to a branch manager dinner. They were all together, they from all over the country, going through some training, and they had their evening meal. And I saw one of the candidates that I had hired many, many years ago, and just the confidence in this individual was so impressive. The individual didn't come to us with a graduate degree. We do accept second jobbers, so those that don't have a degree and have already joined a company have some experience, we will consider that experience. And it was just transformational how this person has changed so much in the couple years that they've been with the company. And it's interesting how quickly you gain that confidence. It's almost like you're every day you're becoming more confident, because you probably will have this, and then someone who's going to join after you, you know,
Yeah.
will then start asking you questions that you were asking
Yeah.
almost feels like a few days ago.
Yeah, exactly. Because the job has a lot of face to face. I mean, a lot of it is based on speaking with customers and building a relationship with them. So in turn, you are just becoming more confident without you even realizing. So,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
definitely with the support you get, you just feel confident enough to express yourself here. It's far less intense than, like I said, I'd assumed it would be. And yeah, it's a very comfortable job to be in.
Now that's great for you to share that with everyone. So if everyone is wondering what are the next steps, and sometimes prospects will email me and say, right, I've come to your virtual information session, I've learned about the company, now I want to apply. What is the next step? Well, the next step is to apply. That's why we've invited you today, is to learn about the company, learn about the role, learn a little bit more. Please put any questions on for Iman or myself in the Q&A if you haven't already. I'm going to stop sharing my screen in just a second. But before we do, I just want to end with the application process overview. So we want you to apply online. It's the first thing. So you go in and you look for the location that where you would like to work. You apply online. And just want to also emphasize, we are not asking for any grades. So if you didn't get the results that you were hoping for, if you're not quite happy, we're not going to ask you for your grades. You do not need to share them with us. You know, we really just want to hear about your skills and your experience. So if your application does have those skills that we look for, that we assess on, so that be, as I mentioned already, the customer service experience, then you will be called for a virtual interview, and that is with a recruiter. So we get to know a little bit more about you, and of course give you a deeper understanding of the role, to make sure that you really have a good understanding of what you'll be doing, so you're prepared. If you're successful from that interview, then you'll be called to join us for a branch visit. The branch visit's the most important stage of the application process, in my opinion, because the branch visit allows you to, what I call, try before you buy, see the role in action, and you also get a really good feeling. I am a big you know, believer in your gut. Your gut will tell you if something feels right. If you go into a branch and you see the camaraderie, you know, you can really feel that support, the you know, that inclusive environment that you're looking for. You like the challenge as well, then, you know, it feels right, then it is right. But if you're going in and you're not quite, you don't think that you'll thrive, you don't think that's quite the environment for you, that's okay too. And that's the purpose of the branch visit, is for us to really see how you're getting on in that. And then if you're successful, then we'll call you back and offer you the graduate management trainee position. So Those are the next steps. Please follow us on social media. We have lots of resources and tools on our YouTube channel. All the handles are there, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And I'm going to share in the notes in just a second my LinkedIn if you want to share, if you want to connect with me as well as Iman's. And I'm going to go ahead and end with our final slide here about joining us on well, it's got my colleague's name QR code there, but you can contact us through the careers.enterprise.uk and apply. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if we've got any questions. Thank you, Iman. Just while I stop sharing and go through the Q&A, have you got any advice for people that have done maybe like a non-business degree, because you didn't come to us with a business degree, did you?
So I myself had an English degree. So it was, it's far, far off from business. But yeah, advice, I mean, most of what goes on in business is kind of second nature to us as human beings. It's a lot of, we sell on a daily basis just by selling ourselves. So I feel as though I thought I'd need to know a lot more than I actually did. You'd be surprised how little you actually need of business knowledge to be part of a business like enterprise. So yeah, a lot of it will come as second nature. And like I said, my degree was on English language and linguistics, and I feel as though I'm thriving here and I'm doing really well. So yeah, don't worry about what degree you have. I think through the application process, you'll be able to decipher whether or not it is a job for you. Like Monica said, with the branch visit, you'll be able to gauge a vibe, and your intuition will tell you. But don't worry about what degree you had, because I didn't have a business degree and I'm doing great. So yeah, we don't worry about. I don't think we look into what degree you actually do. So
No,
yeah, we don't.
exactly. We
So
want to know what you
what
why you
skill
want to
set
work
you
at the
have and
company.
what you're willing to offer. So as long as you feel, I mean, confident enough in your skills, and you have something to offer, just illustrate yourself the best way you can through your CV, through your curriculum vitae, and yeah, just through the job roles as well. I'd say whenever I'm applying for a job, I always refer to the job roles that the job has, and from there I figure out what I know I'm capable of. And yeah, a lot of working in a business is second nature, and you'd be surprised how little you need of a business degree to apply.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you
So
for
don't
that.
let that scare you away, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think there is a lot of interest in the role, judging from the questions, and it's about the criteria. So I want to probably answer a few questions with this reply. So at Enterprise Mobility for the Graduate Management Training Program or the internship, uh, we do ask for a full UK driving license, and that's because you will be driving in the role. So unless it's for medical reasons that you do not have one or you're exempt, we do require a full UK driving license. There are other roles on our website that you can search for that do not require full UK driving licenses. So have a look at our careers website and have a look at the job description, and it will state on there if it requires it or not. So if you're planning on getting your driving license but you're not quite ready, then you can obviously ask. You can apply maybe another role, or just hold off. As I said, we have a year-round hiring intake, so don't worry, the role is not going to be filled while you pass your test. Now, the other question in here with regards to discipline, there are, we're open to any background, as Iman and I have sort of stated throughout the session today. If anything, we encourage that. We want there to be more diversity of, experience in our roles. So yeah, anybody
Of
who comes
course.
from environmental management to sustainability. And what did you study, Iman?
I studied English language and linguistics. So it was
Fantastic.
majority linguistic based. But I realized through my role and my branches, we all sort of offer different skills, and as a team we're able to offer those different skills and create this amazing mechanism that we work through every day. So yeah, I mean, diverse, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of diversity. You'll have something to offer. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. The graduate management training program is open to anybody who has just completed their degree, to someone who's been out of the, maybe in work for 2 or 3 years and you want to come back in. If that includes if you've done a master's. So yes, you can apply if you have recently completed your master's. It is open for you, so long as you meet the criteria of the full UK driving license, unless it's for medical reasons. If you have your provisional, keep in touch with us. Send us. You would have had an invitation from myself or someone from my team inviting you to the session today. Just reply back saying, hey, I joined and Monica and Demand session. I'd like to apply, but I have my provisional and I'm looking to get pass my test in the end of July. So I'll be in touch then. So just give us an update and we'd love to hear from you. So that's what you can do if you have your provision, if you do have your provisional, just to keep in touch. I've got some great comment here from someone saying that they found the presentation, the breakdown of skills really, and the training really helpful, including the timeline. So I'm really glad that you found that helpful. So I think those are all the questions. The deadline for hiring is, we don't have a deadline because we have a year-round open enrollment, or if you want to call it that, but it's open throughout the year. So find the location, get back in touch with your talent acquisition specialist who invited you to today's session and let them know what you think. And please, yes, please apply. We would love to hear from you. And definitely connect with Iman and I promise I would share our LinkedIn profiles. So we're just going to do that now in the chat. So
Sorry,
feel free to connect with us.
Destiny's just, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, Destiny's just asked a question about her degree. So if it's your graduation ceremony, I'm assuming it's been delayed. I mean, I'm going to check with you, Monica, but it is fine still to apply, I'm sure, with the
Absolutely.
degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if it's just
absolutely.
your graduation ceremony that's been delayed, there's no problem with that as long as you have your degree and you're aware of all the information regarding your degree and you have the document. Yeah, you're fine to apply.
Yeah, you are absolutely welcome to apply and let us know how
Yeah.
when you're ready to start. So yes, you are. I think that just came over as well. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions. Matt, any final advice for somebody who is looking to apply?
Yeah. I'd say just give it a go. Just give it a go. You never know what you're capable of. I had, coming out of uni, I didn't have many expectations and I really didn't know where I was going. I was kind of feeling my way through every day, but I'm so, so glad that I did apply and that I have been chosen for the role because it's one of the biggest blessings right now. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your
Of course.
experience. Yeah, and your thoughts with that with everyone. I think, what's been really, really great for us to hear on this session is I'm a recruiter, I can talk about this, but when you're hearing it from someone who's just joined the business, so recent, I should say, as a man, it's great to hear her perspective coming in and what her maybe reluctancy was and maybe misconceptions that has been removed. I think that's been great. But yeah, we're looking forward to your applications. Keep in touch. Let us know. I have just shared my LinkedIn as well as Iman's. So feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn
Yeah.
and post something if you dare as well. That's always something that I recommend on LinkedIn is to grow. When you grow your brand on social media, use these sessions because they do help.
Definitely. Definitely.
Right. Well, have a lovely afternoon,
Well,
everyone.
thank
And
you,
thank you once
Monica.
again. Thank you,
Thank you
Iman.
for today. Thank you for hearing me
Take
out.
care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye bye.